Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's Allan Barry Laboucan with the Rocks and Stocks News Show, and I've got my special guest and friend of the show, Roger Rasmus, Goliath Resources. I'm a shareholder. They're my highest conviction gold exploration company with an important discovery in the Golden Triangle. I've had very good success in the Golden Triangle. I've picked about three or four companies. One of those was Pretium. They were bought out for in the billions by Newmont. Now that's one of their tier one mines. I also was in early on GT Gold, and I think Goliath is going to be my biggest success yet. And why I say that is I think that it is going to be proven to be as an important discovery as the Brucejack deposit that gave Pretium all of its success. And I actually think that it could rival the great Eskay Creek discovery that put the Golden Triangle on the map. So, yeah, those are lofty statements, but I'm going to talk to you in a bit about why this map helps me to make those with confidence. Roger, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hey, Alan, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
So, I guess we got to do that disclaimer thing about forward-looking statements because I sure made a hell of a lot of forward-looking statements there. But this map here helps me to explain it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible what we're seeing here at the Sherbet discovery. Obviously, with some of the earlier news this year from some of the relog. Now we've seen gold now. Good mineable widths, mineable grades in three distinct rock packages within the system, which just kind of opens up new doors every day, nice surprises, which is great. And obviously we had the news recently here on Monday. Again, 100% hit rate, 94% of the holes visible gold that can be seen essentially with the naked eye, no microscopes, that kind of thing required. And more importantly, I think is that that first bullet in the releases, and we've expanded Bonanza Zone by another 500 meters. So I think I think you do the math. I think it kind of quadruples the surface area with that extension. So that's pretty keen. And obviously, we're on target. We've got quite a few meters already drilled off, and lots of samples going to the lab. So I mean, this we got a pipeline of news coming here, and 60,000 meters of it fully funded. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
I was really impressed, Roger, with it's not this kind of stuff that moves the market, but you know, 25,000 meters of drilling already. How long have you guys been at it? A month?
Yeah, only a
Or,
month. We've got 9 rigs currently turning at the moment. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the largest drill program in Canada. I don't think
wow.
anyone's drilling this size of it, and in this type of environment. So just logistics, 4 choppers, 9 rigs. It's a lot of people, and everything's going really well. And we expect to be able to achieve that 60,000 meters of drilling and perhaps even more. Again, assuming if Mother Nature works with us here, we can have an extended season into September.
Well, some companies would be happy to drill 25,000 meters in a year. You guys have done 25,000 in a month.
Yeah, and again, helicopter assisted. We're not driving here on the road. We're again, it's a lot of logistics, and the team's awesome. Program manager is awesome. Everything's running like a switch with Swiss watch, which is perfect because you lose a day, you can't get that back, and we only have so much time, obviously, in our campaign during when we can drill, that everything does get accomplished.
Yeah, well, every season you guys do a lot of great work, and that's represented in this map as well because you can see the various different drill holes that have been done over there over the last, well, since 2021 when the initial discovery was made. And, so not only are your drillers really talented, but your geologist and team are very talented when it comes to where to put those holes down.
Definitely, and no surprise. Again, similar to last year, we had 94% of holes hitting, visible gold. Really great results. And again, mineable widths, mineable grades. Unfortunately, every hole can't be, 100 or 2,000 or 100 or 1,000 gram meter hole. Again, pointing to the recent results here that we announced yesterday. I mean, these are all mineable widths, mineable grades, and heck, you know what? I'm happy, and more actually, and again, just the whole extension of the Bonanza is fantastic because clearly there's a lot going on there, and it does still remain open. But that's obviously one of the areas of focus this year where we're getting more of our higher grades consistently. Over an ounce kind of thing. 6 meters, 9 meters of previously reported results, and then obviously that 1 ounce over the 39 meters. So plenty of news to come. Stay tuned. Really, it's going to be. We just got out of the gate here, so lots to come.
What I think that everybody wants those splashy headlines, Roger, but what they don't really understand about these kind of systems where you have these very coarse gold, visible gold, free gold in the system is that you could have 10 meters of 11 grams and you move over a foot or a meter and you've
6 inches.
got,
Thanks.
you've got bonanza grade. You've got
Yeah,
ounces or ounce, and it's sitting right beside it.
sure.
And that's another reason why I really love this map. And
Yeah.
you talk about how people want to know meter by meter, how it's distributed and all this.
Hmm.
But this map really tells a lot of the story about the project. So, yeah, maybe you can address that comment about, a meter over and you've got it's
Well,
nice to have that 10-meter thick intersection of
sure.
plus 10 grams, but you could move over a meter and have, ounces.
Let's think about it. We're drilling down what a 3 inch diameter, 2.5 inches. You move over 6 inches. It could be, again, you're hitting like maybe 1 ounce material. But ultimately, let's think about this in a mining scenario. Bottom line is you're going to take that vein out anyhow, and
Yeah.
there's probably going to be more gold in there than what's being reported again because it's like you say that just the way the system is mineralized. Move over a couple inches or what have you, and guess what? You got like serious bonanza grades, So it's uh, obviously, the splashy headlines are nice, but at the same time, it just shows there's consistency there, that the vein, the continuity is there. And that's really the key thing here. And also just with the veins, we know the host rocks surrounding. Um, we know it's not mineralized, but ultimately you just follow that vein and you're going to get pockets of high grade, low grade, and at the end of the day, it's going to be an average of, what have you. So clearly, this is definitely shaping up to be what I believe is going to be a tier one asset when we've completed our job here.
I'm glad you brought that up because Brucejack, I watched every drill hole in that with Pretium. They
Yep.
ended up growing up to be a $1.8 billion buyout.
Yes.
And the same kind of situation here, Roger. It was very much identical as far as, grades and this hole and that hole. But what really was a breakthrough for me and the market was they did a bulk sample. And when they did the bulk sample, the grade came out at like 3x what nearby holes were suggesting it would be. And that's
Hmm.
the nature of these kind of systems, folks. And that's why, this map says a lot to me because when you see that much visible gold distributed, you go from here and you go up to here. And I'm even going to throw out this hit, but let's just look from here to here, you're looking at about 1,200 meters of distribution of visible gold. You go from here down to here, you're looking at about another 800 meters. And throughout that zone, we'll have to call it the visible gold zone, Roger. I think that's
Yeah. There we
my
go.
new
It's
handle.
everywhere.
It's everywhere,
Yeah. So I mean, collectively, it's 1.8 square kilometers of VG, which is pretty incredible stuff. So, we'll just and it does remain open. So that's the exciting part as well.
and I often introduce you guys as my highest conviction gold explorer with an important discovery. And I think some people just listen to the first part and they don't really pay attention to the second part. This map also explains why I call it my highest conviction gold explorer with an important discovery. I challenge anybody that's listening to this to go out there and find me another project that has this kind of distribution, widespread distribution of visible gold all over the place in this golden mountain. You won't
Yeah,
find it. I've been doing this for 32 years, folks. This is a unicorn,
definitely. And also you might want to add in this is actually a grassroots discovery, which has never been drilled before.
right?
So, find another one of those again with those attributes.
Oh, I
I
can make their job even harder, Roger. In a grassroots project in a mining friendly jurisdiction that's
Yes,
prolific for high grade.
correct.
Now you're narrowing it down to one
Right.
story.
Well, then,
Goliath
an
resource.
excellent metallurgy, 92.2% recovery with 48%, almost 49% free gold from gravity alone. No cyanide required, no deleterious materials. And plus, we have infrastructure close by as well. An old mine site, barge access on either side of the property. We got the town of Kitsault, housed up to 1,000 people when that moly mine was in production. So, this discovery, it really ticks all the boxes. Like I say, I challenge anyone to come up with any kind of comps that even come close.
I want to hear about him because I'll talk about him all the time. But okay, now inside of that visible gold zone, I like that name. You've got a stacked veins that are gently dipping.
Yes.
Then you've got vertical veins or vertical dikes, reduced intrusion related gold dikes coming up through the veins. And now you've found it in a third rock package that is a altered breccia. So you've got all this broken up rock, folks, that is
Yeah.
often above the causative source, the magma that broke up that rock and then had the pressure and temperature to blast it into these three rock packages.
Exactly.
That again on a explaining that on a geological terms, that's very unique as well, Roger. It's like having a pogo with a snow line coming up through it, and now a breccia unit that's probably sitting above the magma source. Like they never found the source of pogo.
No,
They may never find the source of snow line.
correct. And, I think Pogo, they produced over 10 million ounces there. So, I mean, again, I've said it before that, even if we
Been in
don't find,
production, but for decades. And
I
this year
know
it's still going to produce 350,000 ounces of gold,
it's
Roger,
pretty crazy. I know.
from
And again,
those narrow veins with high grade in it.
yeah. And that causative, I mean, it could be at depth and it could be, sitting laterally as well. So, I mean, we just don't know. And, some of the drilling this year, we're testing a bunch of those theories. With some deep holes. And but at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose sleep over it because, like I say, we have a mountain of VG here, great distribution, and just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Well, having said that, I'm going to give you what always excited me about this project. I think I picked it up in 2021 myself, was you see here, this is a structure, folks. This is one of these cracks in the earth, and it's not a mystery why you've got an abundance of visible gold sort of right near that. That's often the conduit. If you look at Roger's picture, you're looking at a different angle, but to his left shoulder, the other side.
There you go.
Oh, you're pointing perfectly at
There you go.
what I'm highlighting there. And over his other shoulder, you can see these other two structures. So these are the cracks in the earth, folks, that these fluids with gold in them use as a path of least resistance to get the gold closer to surface. But what really has always excited me is if you look at this structure and you look at these two structure, you can't see it on this map, but they actually coalesce. They come together at the where you're getting very close to the bottom of the mountain in the valley floor. I've always thought of that as a really great place of when you see the cracks in the earth coming together like that. That's often a sign of where you look for the cause of that system because the source has to have lots of heat and lots of pressure. And when that gets released, the gold bearing fluids follow along these paths of least resistance. So when you've got those coalescing at the bottom of the mountain, that's really encouraging. And then you just look up here a little bit and you've got that breccia unit, which is another sign that the power of that system is incredible. And that breaks up all the rock and the crack, the gold bearing fluids make their way up into the breccia unit as well.
Yeah.
So actually, Roger, I think there's lots of signs of where that causative source is, and it's not very much below the valley floor, in my estimation.
Yeah. Again, we've got a number of theories, and we're testing that this year in the 2025 program. So we'll just see what happens. Stay tuned, folks.
Well, whatever happens, we do know certain information. We do know now that the visible gold that's widely distributed has made its way into three distinct rock packages. Now, I believe that's indicative of a very powerful system, but we know that for sure. We know that
Yes,
it's in three distinct rock packages.
exactly. No, that's confirmed. That's bulletproof. And whatever heat engine, I mean, this thing's got to be massive. Again, we're talking 1.8 square kilometers of VG distribution, pretty much.
Right in
Uh,
that map there,
um,
folks.
yeah, and yeah, all the red bits there. That whatever it is, the causative has got to be massive as well, or even much larger than 1.8 square kilometers. I would think just logic would suggest that.
Yeah. Well, you look at these cracks, Roger. They go, this one actually goes from one side of the mountain all the way over to the other side. Oh, and guess what you see right there? Right
Yeah,
beside it on the other side of the mountain. You
yeah.
got
We have
another
the
hit of VG.
Yeah, that was the mole pad. That was we drilled that last year. Actually, we had some a pretty good hit over there. And actually, a lot of these faults you can see it going even to the south. So this is kind of looking northish. I mean, we're looking down at plan
Yeah,
view
it keeps
uh,
going.
on the
Yeah.
south side of the mountain. You can actually see these structures continuing on and up through the mountains behind the range,
Yes.
and going through those mountains as well. So. Again, this is just, I think the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a lot more discovery happening here. But at this point, obviously, we want to, expand on the known horizons, 100% focused on Sherbet this year and getting some tighter spacings and some of the higher grades. And hopefully we can come out this year with some pretty good math as to what we think is maybe in one or two of the loads with pretty high confidence in the Bonanza, which based on what we're seeing, Bonanza is going to be, I think, the largest portion of Well, it is the largest portion of this current system, but any, in a maiden resource, I believe this will be providing like the big numbers um, that carries this thing. Like,
And
with
you're
the
still so far away from getting to the edges, the limits of this system. I mean, the reduced intrusion and now the breccia. The reduced intrusion was kind of an emerging story over the last year. This
yeah, I mean, that was definitely a
breccia
bit of a
unit is this
yeah.
year's story.
The ugly breccia, altered the calc silicate altered breccia, the ugly rock, containing some nice high grade veins in there, lots of EG. So yeah, no, it's a nice surprise.
Well, you said an intriguing comment there, and it was kind of an eye opener for me, Roger, when I went on Google Earth. I don't have it up. Maybe next time we can show it, but
Sure.
I did my Google Earth homework. And so when you get to the bottom where these structures are coalescing, there's a valley, okay? And then not too far along the valley, you can kind of repeat that mountain of gold on the other side of the valley. And it looks identical. It's got these structures coming through it. It looks like it's a repeat story of Sherbet sitting on the other side of the valley. And this gets back to my theory about the power of the system. I think that you've got a very good chance that somewhere under that valley, not too deep, is where the source is. But that source could be feeding the mountain there could be another golden mountain sitting about 1,000 meters over on the other side of the valley.
Yeah, no, definitely, and even to the even to the east here, when we're getting some 1 ounce type material at surface.
Yeah.
That's about a 1.5 kilometers away. So
Yeah, you can't even see it on this map
no, it's not
for
on
us.
this map, but clearly there's lots going on here, and there's lots more discovery upside potential, and we'll hopefully get to the bottom of it at some point. But we're in no rush. Again, we're just doing our job here, trying to create as much shareholder value as possible in the shortest period of time. And again, think about it, we've only been drilling for forget about this year, but up until 2024, like 16 months, so less than 2 years.
So
You
each
look at
year you get about 3 months of
3 months,
drilling
three and a half
time
months. Yeah. So I mean, you look at Great Bear, they had, I think, almost 5 years or 6 years they could drill
year
pretty
round.
much year round. Yeah, like call it 8 months maybe, and 300,000 meters. I mean, we only have 92,000 meters as 2024, adding 60 this year, so we're at 152. So we're getting there, and things are again some nice surprises along the way, which is fantastic.
I don't know of anybody that drills 20,000 meters a month.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
we got some great drillers. It's the same, one nice thing too is it's this always the same people coming, same drilling companies, same helicopter pilots, pretty much same geologist. So everyone's very familiar with the area, and it's not like you got people coming in and just learning about the system. It's people that know the program, know the hill, and again, that's why we're able to pull off such a vast or massive program in a very short period of time.
Well, I always appreciate how you pass the platitudes and thanks around, Roger, because it's true. It's a team effort, and you
Yeah.
got a hell of a team there doing the drilling. You've also got a heck of a team with the geologists.
Yes.
And even from afar, well, I guess he's up there now, but Randall Karcher at the Colorado School of Mines is doing phenomenal work. It really was an eye opener when he came out with his last report. I think it was a few months ago. We did an interview with him, and he
Hmm.
talks about these Goldilocks zones where he's done the study and seen that the gold is actually in two temperature regimes. And
Hmm.
folks, this may not excite many people, but when I see that, I see two enrichments And when you have two enrichments, it's suggestive not only of a powerful system, but that there was multiple fluid injections into those
Mhm.
rocks,
Right.
right? This is exactly what you want in an high-grade system, folks.
Exactly.
Goldilocks zones, three rock packages, something big is
Mhm.
driving all that visible gold into the Golden Mountain there.
Definitely. And let's not forget also to add on to that is Colorado School of Mines, they have done some age dating and so on. And so that the dikes, the reduced intrusive dikes, as well as the shear zones, they've all been, they're in place roughly at the same time, 51, 52 million years years ago, pardon me. And then even the hydropluton there far to the west. I think that BCGS did some dating and I think it was like 52 or 51 as well. So clearly all this came together in geological terms, kind of like over the weekend. When you're talking a million years, is really nothing.
Yeah.
But the fact that the age dating is very, very close, and would explain, I guess, essentially, I think that why there's so much gold and everything that's sitting here at the Sherbet discovery.
Yeah, that's kind of a vertical body over to the west. And but all of this is a suggestive of there's something big happening down there with the magmatic fluids, folks.
Sure.
You don't
Or
get this kind of visible gold distribution
mhm. Yeah.
rarely, you
Yeah,
know.
well, just that the hydropluton actually could possibly be part of it as well, somehow attached. Because I can't recall, but we didn't think much of it at the time, but it was like a lower grade, kind of like 1 gram. I think it was like 10 meters or 15 meters. I got to go back and take a look, but we are putting some additional holes into the hydropluton this year, and ultimately that possibly could be our intrusive body, or certainly part of
Part of,
the
yeah.
intrusive body. Yeah, that kind of like uplifted and came around type of deal, right?
Right. Like that, I've sometimes described this kind of like a swimming pool. And you could have this and this side is all part of the same swimming pool, if you will, or bathtub
Yeah.
of magma that's dry. I keep getting back to the fact that, Roger, with all of that distribution of visible gold in three rock packages, it has to be a very powerful system because you think about it, folks, if you got 2,000 meters, all right, of visible gold coming up into the system, what is below that that caused that distribution?
Hmm.
It has to be very, very big.
I would agree.
So I love this map, Roger. I keep on showing it to people. Everywhere I go, I show this map to people because, folks, I've been in this business for 32 years in the exploration business. And I've seen things like Brucejack. I've looked at projects like Red Lake Gold Corp. I've looked at projects like Fosterville. I've looked at the great mines all over Canada, the United States, all over the world. And I cannot find, if you can find me something that has this much distribution of visible gold in it, please let me know. But I'm asking that as a challenge uh, for two reasons. Because not only is it a challenge that you're not going to find one, but that emphasizes just how great what Goliath has is.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. That's fantastic. But anyways, here, yeah. So I'll be heading up to site shortly, and hopefully take some nice pics and what have you. Share that on social.
Yeah,
Quite
get it
excited.
to me. I want to share it too, Roger.
Okay.
And so let's before we close, uh, catalysts. Go ahead. You got
60,000 meters of drilling.
60,000 meters of drilling. You
Yeah,
probably are still looking at some of the old core from
yeah,
past because you're seeing gold in new rock packages that you never expected it to be because the all the conventional wisdom was don't bother. It's not in that rock
yeah.
package, but here it
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. Yeah, as far as that thought, the initiative on the relogging that's been completed. and now it's all 2025 core. There's samples going to the lab every day.
Okay.
So, once I guess, I mean, the pipeline is getting fuller and fuller of assays, and hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more coming from the labs here in the next couple weeks, and then maybe hopefully get on kind of a program. We see something coming from the lab every, on a weekly basis once we've got more and more samples going in. So, but ultimately, these guys, they do have bottlenecks, and they can only run as fast as they can, and that's something that we're at the mercy of their, I guess, just their capacity levels, their throughput.
Well, it sounds to me like news flow will be continuous from here until the end of the year or maybe even into 2026 first quarter.
Yeah, and when you think about it, let's say we drill into September, late September. Like every year, it seems like it's always a delay, and then we finally get the bottleneck is completed sometime in early January, right in time for VRIC and the AME roundup. So
And then the
I would
PDAC.
expect, yeah, I'd expect something similar to that.
And that's because, folks, there's a lot of exploration that happens in the summertime in British Columbia, the Yukon, and that material all goes to the Vancouver labs, plus other jurisdictions
Of
bring it to
course.
the Vancouver labs. So,
Yeah.
it's not for a lack of trying, but
Yeah.
they're also a contributor to the factor because they're sending, doing 60,000 meters of drilling. They're sending a lot of core into those labs as well.
Yeah, I mean, and then Dolly Varden, I mean, they're doing a great job as well over there, neighbors, Sean Kunkun there. And I mean, they just increased their program to 55,000 meters as well. So,
Yeah.
it just takes time. I wish I had news every week. That'd be awesome. But
Well,
that's just not the case. My reality is, hopefully maybe every couple weeks, we'll get the final assays I mean, right now, certainly what we announced here past week is just the gold numbers because we're doing photon. And as far as
oh,
multi-element, it's
right,
going to take some. That's right. That's another good point. This is gold.
right. We've got
So
other metals in there as
we have other
well, though.
metals, some silver, copper, lead, zinc, so on and so forth. So that's certainly, I would think, it's going to, lift these numbers as well. So, but ultimately, we know the market needs news, and we're happy to announce these holes as is with just the gold, and they're mineable widths, very mineable widths, and very mineable grades. Nothing to sneeze about.
This picture tells the story, Roger. I just keep on going back to it, and I'll keep pounding this until more people understand because when
Yeah,
you've got something this unique, the value of something like that is tremendous. And I don't think that this is well understood. So I'm going to keep on banging this table because, Roger, even for me, yes, I like to see the actual grades, but you keep on showing me these visible gold because I understand that you could be, here you've got, let's say, 4 grams over 20 meters. You move over a meter and you might have, an ounce over 40 meters. That's the nature of these kind of systems, folks. But
yeah,
for me, when I see that much visible gold distributed in such a large area, that speaks volumes about what this is going to look like when it becomes a mine. And I think that's where this project will end up is being a mine and a free cash flow machine of a mine, not just a regular mine, a free cash flow machine.
yes, I would tend to agree.
All right, Roger, I'm going to close it off, but thanks
Okay,
a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of these because you got a lot of news pending. So thanks for spending some time with me today.
thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. Look forward to our next visit.
All righty, folks, there you go. As always, my shows are for information purposes only. Do your homework, speak with your financial advisors, and I'm trying to help you with your homework with this image that we've had as a background because it speaks volumes about the quality of the story that Goliath has and the discovery that they made at their Sherbet zone in what I'm now calling the Golden Mountain, loaded up with visible gold. I'm a happy shareholder, so that's my bias. My other bias is I like to be right. When I have an opinion on something, I like to be right. And I think this one's going to prove me to be right that they've got a free cash flow machine of the future mine at the Sherbet zone in the Golden Mountain. Do your homework, speak with your financial advisors. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes.